leaves stop and start, and the yard looks really nice. And you can see where the leaves stop and start here. They raked all up underneath these. But I love when they do that, because I get these leaves and I go put them in the compost heap, and then I put them all around all of the trees in the yard. And every tree that's a producing tree for something like a nut or a berry or a fruit gets a big helping of this every year, and that's great for mulching around trees. But I put it in that compost piles, mostly this and grass clippings and horse crap from horse manure from the stable. And I'm gonna clean out the chicken coop, put that in there too. This is another compost heap I'm gonna make right here. Now, I want to stop and discuss something. In this compost heap, I got some shavings, some pine shavings, and that's from horse stalls. And I got a lot of horse manure in there too. Look at these ants. Those ants get up in there. That's why you gotta keep turning it. They don't like when you agitate the ground too much. But this making, I got grass clippings from when I push mower cut my grass around the place, and I'm trying to clean this white trash looking stuff up too. Danny and Deep South, I always talk about Deep South. It's like I'm not infatuated with them. I just really like their stuff, and they know. Danny knows his business. And he was talking about Grazon. And that stuff, the more I'm doing my research into that, I'm so glad he enlightened us into that. That stuff is the devil's juice. That's the devil's drink there. I don't know. That stuff it needs to go. Grazon is terrible. It is a herbicide that kills broadleaves in hay fields. Like, say I wanted to make this a hay field right here. I'm growing grasses right here, and I don't want nothing but grass to grow so I can make hay out of it. So if I spread Grazon down, it's gonna kill stuff like this. This stuff right here is considered not hay worthy. This right here, the dollar grass, it'll kill all of that. Nothing really kills dollar grass though, I can tell you that. But it'll kill all these broadleaves. See all of this? It'll kill this right here. It'll kill all of that, but it won't kill the grasses. And what happens is it can persist through the digestive tracts of the animals that eat it, and then it'll get into your fertilizer if you make compost fertilizer with it, because it just don't go away. I mean, I think people said it's almost 18 months before it starts breaking down. So I'm gonna let this compost pile make compost for over 2 years after I stop adding to it, before I even use the compost, because I don't know. We get that horse manure from where my daughter's horse is stable, and I got to talk to the owner, see where she sources her hay from. But from what I'm understanding, almost every hay producer uses Grazon now. And that's just terrible, because let me tell you people, this stuff is accumulating in the food chain. It's not diluting out, it's accumulating in the food chain. And end users are the ones that accumulates in the most. Y'all all know about mercury accumulating in the big benthic water fish like tuna and swordfish. You eat them, and you're gonna get mercury, because it's their end user in their food chain, and then we the end user by eating them, so it's really accumulating in us. Well, the same with this Grazon crap. This stuff is getting into our wildlife, not our domestic livestock. Horses is one thing. I don't like it going into my daughter's horse, because that's an expensive prized animal there. That horse carries my daughter, so I want that horse to be in some damn good shape. But think about it, they feed that same hay to cattle, and that cattle goes to making your beef, your ground meat, your steaks, your everything. And then think about the manure that they use for the horses. Manure from horses is a commodity that's used by mushroom growers. Mushrooms have really been found to be of huge medicinal and environmental use, because one thing a mushroom does is it saps up toxins from from the substrates it grows on. So they even use them to, they're thinking they're going to use mushrooms in the future to mitigate oil spills and the toxicity of oils that get released into the environment. But the problem with that, you can't eat those mushrooms because they're loaded with toxins. And you got to get rid of them. You can't put that for human consumption because you're going to be eating it. Well, that's the same with this Grazon. They are using that horse manure to grow our mushrooms on. I'm telling you, that's what they grow our mushrooms on, horse manure and cow manure, but mostly horse manure. So you are getting severe, elevated levels of Grazon in your mushrooms. And I know everyone down here eats mushrooms. So, great. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dow Chemical, Dow Agriscience. That's who produces this junk. Them in Monsanto, man, they all got to go. They are killing us. They're destroying the natural order of how food is supposed to be grown. They are destroying how in the world are we supposed to use organic means to grow food if all we're going to have left is chemical fertilizers at our disposal. And guess who's making the chemical fertilizer? Yeah, them. So we can't source our own fertilizer, natural fertilizer, and compost it and make it to where you could actually pick it up. It's safe to pick up and run through your fingers after that. No. You'll never be able to do that again. They are killing our abilities. So that's what I'm getting ticked off about. Anyway, we talked about enough about that. That's Grazon. Everybody who can do something or write something negative about it or get the word out there, get the word out about this trash, this poison in our society. I'm sick of hearing about how multinational industrial corporations are destroying our lives. I'm sick of it. It's just like they tell us what we can look at, they tell us what we can think, now they tell us what we can eat, how we can grow. I'm very passionate about this since Danny brought it up, and it's just, you go look at the testimonials about what people are saying, about this stuff, and how terrible, like people that actually source manure to other people, farmers, for fertilizer. They're destroying their entire fields with this stuff. They're destroying entire farming areas by putting this stuff. You got to go and scrape all the dirt out of it and replace it with something new. All right, seed start mix. The other way wasn't right, so I'm gonna show y'all what I found is better. So I got my compost pile here, and I ain't gonna make a whole bunch of this. I really don't need a bunch, but I'm just gonna show y'all how to make some of it. Oh, clamshell. All right, that's enough. See y'all back at the back of the shed. All right, what we have here is that's some compost, right? And that's a wheelbarrow, right? It rained the other night, so I want to get that water out of there. Ain't gonna get it all. I don't believe. Oh, and some Spidey coming after me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this old. This is what you call a lug. You put crabs or something in there. That's what crabbers use to put their catch in. I ain't been crabbing in a while. I want to get back into it, but I put some 1/8 hardware cloth in there. And this is what I originally used to get my rocks from my Dutch buckets, which I ain't been back to that yet for a while. We're gonna go ahead and just sift through here and just see, the screen comes up more on this side and not so much on this side, so I kind of keep it tilted. Shake it a little bit like that. And there you go. This stuff right here, the refuse, I just pour back in another bucket. And continue. Now, I didn't need too much, that's why I ain't making too much. Now this isn't the ideal place for it, but you get most of it comes through. And that's all the leftovers goes back into the compost pile. Oh shoot. Well, I thought it was. Alright. So there you go. You got some gray looking, gray smelling, just great looking compost. So what I'm gonna do, what I got here is a old galvanized garbage can that has got a mixture of perlite and pea moss. Now this is that stuff y'all saw in that other video. I said that'd be a good start mix. It works, but it don't work great. This stuff I'm making works much better. I'm doing about half and half, about 50-50 this and that other stuff. All right, back outside. Alright, I'm just going to take this composted, sifted through compost and put it in this bucket. Boy, that stuff is beautiful. That stuff is beautiful. It's nice and fluffy. Just looks like the perfect kind of. You could probably see starting just this and be fine. That's the beauty of making compost. Alright, then I'm just going, oh Lord, I just heard the bottom of this bucket just cracked. I knew that's what that was. These buckets are getting old. I'm just going to mix it up. Let's give it a good mixing. Alright. Good mixture there. So this is the same mixture that I used to start these. And look how beautiful they are going. So you tell me, I had the other bucket. Where did I put the other bucket? Where did I, oh, there it is. This the other bucket of seed start mix that I had. So I got plenty. Now I think I could use this as a good potting mix too. But y'all can see it's looking great. Things are sprout great in it. And it works much better than just the pea moss itself. So there y'all have it. Alright, y'all might be able to see those seeds in my hand. Let's see, yeah, right there. That's 3 of them. Alright, go ahead and put some of this starting mix on these little cups here. froggy in here. Go ahead and saturate the cups, the pot. And let them soak down a bit, get that water. If you just do, I found out with my seed starting mix, if you just do the peat moss, it don't work that right. It'll make it, and you gotta add a lot of fertilizer to them. But with this mix of compost and that really helps out. And then it'll get wet faster. All right, what I'm gonna do is put me some more of those, 3 more of those tomato seeds in, and hopefully this will work. There's a good stick I can use, and then my seeds are right there. Very special tomatoes here. That's why I'm giving them their own pots there. I really want to get this to work. I'll let that settle down a little bit, and we will come back and hit them a little bit more tonight. But we're supposed to be in for 4 or 5 days, well, 3 or 4 days of some pretty hot heat for this time of year. So this is what I put them in. I put 3 more. These are mountain vineyards. I know those cups. I mean, ain't the only other thing in cups are there like that is this. And then the other mountain vineyards, hopefully they come up is right there. So we shall see. Oh look, some of that basil is coming up. I didn't realize that. Some of that, that's the cayenne basil. Maybe we're hitting them with a little water and some of the heat. I really need for these celebrity tomatoes to come up though. That's gonna be that's the ones I really want. That's the only hybrids I got really, except for those steak sandwich ones. And these are supposed to be the big producers. So we shall see. Anyway, this is gonna be probably stupid long, so I'm gonna have to edit all kind of crap out. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.